We are back with another episode of Will These Comics Make Good Films and Television Shows? We got Power Girl, we got Conan, we got Red Sonja. Find out my thoughts right now. All right, back with your host, Frank Zanca. I am an award-winning screenwriter and novelist, comic book writer, and a working filmmaker, mostly a line producer in UPM here in Atlanta, formerly from Los Angeles, recently moved about a month ago. And thank you everybody who's been kind of following my journey. But until we can get back to work, I'm going to be talking about comics. So let's talk about Power Girl. Yeah, Power Girl #1 by Leah Williams. A woman who really does not know how to write comics. So for all you budding writers out there, there are two types of writers. And when I tell you this, you're gonna see it more and more and more. Especially when it comes to writing characters that these writers did not create. You know, if they're talking about original stuff, that's a whole other story. I'm talking about writers that are writing characters that are already established. So the first type of writer, which is obviously preferred, is the one that takes the character as it is and has been established and then creates a story around that character that fits into the character's mood and aspirations and motivations and past. Okay? Then there's the second type of writer. A writer who doesn't really care what the character is. They want to tell a story. And they're given this character. And then they shove, with all their might, they shove this character into that story. Oftentimes breaking or mangling that character in the meantime. And that's what we have here. We have the second type. We have Leah Williams, who apparently wanted to tell a story. Power Girl was what she was given, so she forcibly pushed this character into a story. So we have Power Girl, who now has different powers because she was Kara, right? She's another version of Kara, but now they call her Paige. And she now has the power to, just like, I mean, obviously this person watched the Doctor Strange 2 and saw America Chavez, creating portals. So that's what Power Girl can now do. She can punch portals. She can punch the air and create portals. Why? Because she's basically supposed to be another version of Supergirl from another dimension. Okay? So here we start out with her on a yacht auctioning alien technology. Why in the world would you be auctioning alien technology to these non-vetted people? Yeah, and they're all like in little canisters and the whole bit. And there's also Atlanteans there, and I guess they're auctioning off stuff as well. And this other dude pops in, and he says, "I'm going to steal it all." And the Atlanteans, try to get people off the ship. And I mean, the artwork's decent. We get some good action there. She's burning her dress for I have no idea what reason. But we get to square off with her and this, thief or whatever. But he makes a getaway. And then we have her, I guess, go down into the core or whatever. I don't know what she was doing. I'm confused by that whole thing. But yeah, here's her punching into a portal. And during the whole fight, she's talking to the other girl. "Did you feed the cat? You know how he gets." So you never feel like there's any stakes here because they're more worried about the cat and the cat's going to eat. But Superman has the cat, and he tells her that she didn't handle this well, and they're already on the outs with the Atlanteans, and there's a virus coming from her Krypton, and she's like, well, why Krypton doesn't exist? That doesn't make any sense. And he's like, yeah, I want you to investigate with Star Labs, and that's the end of it. That's the end of it. So this is not Power Girl. This character is not this character. What's on the title is not what's inside. It's a completely different character that Leah Williams decided to make and call Power Girl because she wanted to tell this story, I guess. So will this make a good film or television show? No, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I won't be continuing it, and I have heard other people reviewing it, and nobody's continuing it. So sales are going to plummet to nothing. Then we're back with Nightwing. Nightwing has just returned by Tom Taylor, and we finally get to see Heartless again because we haven't seen him in forever. He's like the big baddie that's been going on for like 10 years now. The guy never gets caught, never even gets confronted. He shows up periodically, kills people, and then leaves, and nobody does anything about it. But as you can see, the guy runs him through with the sword, and that does nothing to him because I guess he has no heart, and apparently no other internal organs at all that you can run him through, and he doesn't even feel it. What? But Dick left some stuff in the hold. There was this pirate group that has like a safety deposit box type of thing. I don't know, man. It's all weird. But anyway, so they go to try to steal some stuff in the hold, and they're like, oh, the hold's gone. Okay. Whatever, man. And then Nightwing appears, but remember, this is also going on during the same time as the Gotham War, and there's supposedly no crime, right? But meanwhile, Heartless is running around, and he just killed someone. So, what? Apparently there's crime then, right? So apparently Catwoman's thing is not working. This whole Gotham War thing does not work. It really doesn't. And so now we have some fight scene stuff and a ambulance, and he goes to the ambulance is getting held by gunpoint by the other pirates because of course he's looking to find out what happened with the hold. And then this I guess there's the new captain now that the other captain has been killed. And then we have a backup story about making pancakes with Cassandra and Stephanie, and it's night on the town, and somebody's watching through the window, and it's not even worth reading, really. It's pretty bad. So Nightwing, is this story going to make a good film or television show? No, it's not. The whole thing about if they finally wrap up Heartless and we actually get a decent ending, maybe, because the character's decent, but they don't do anything with anything. This is just like, I don't know how long I'm going to continue this with Tom Taylor because he just keeps dragging. He never finishes a storyline. He starts a storyline, he keeps the storyline going. He starts another storyline, he keeps that going. It just goes on forever without us ever finishing up anything. So you don't feel when you're buying these books that you don't ever feel like you're accomplishing anything. So Tom Taylor just needs to get out of his own way. He's his own worst enemy. So now we're going to continue on to Marvel. This is the only Marvel book I have for this pile of 5. And this is Bounty Hunters. This is the next installment of this Dork Droid stupidity thing that's going on. It doesn't work, and that's the problem with these kind of events, is that we have this event that goes on and on and on and on, and if it doesn't work, we have a storyline that just goes on and on and on, doesn't work. So I can't wait for this to be over. I've already stopped. They already jacked the price to $5 for all Star Wars books, so I dropped like 4 of them. This is not what I'm collecting anymore. So instead of getting an extra $1 from me for 4 books, now they've lost money from me for Star Wars because I dropped, where they were getting $4 from me. Now they're getting nothing besides one extra $1. So I don't think that price hike was worth it. In fact, I'm even considering dropping Superman because of the $5 thing. But anyway, so they've passed the line. $4 was the line. Maybe $4.50. If they had gone from $4 to $4.50, it probably would have been better. But going directly to $5, where they're increasing, by 20%, it just doesn't work, man. So it's more than 20% actually. So here we have a storyline about Valance, who's this cyborg guy. These are obviously all bounty hunters that are all grouped together. Tongas leads this thing. But anyway, he's losing his memory in whatever chip that he has going on, whatever his core is going on. He's losing his memory of his former life and his wife, etc. So they take him to a droid place where this guy is supposed to fix him. Unfortunately, this guy has a hidden agenda. And then we swap stories with General Grievous during this other time where he was going up against droids and fails to. He's trying to recruit them, and instead he fights them and he destroys a lot of them. But there's so many of them that he can't kill them all. So instead of fixing Valance, we get him being taken over. So that the artwork is decent. General Grievous looks pretty good there. And we have that guy that's actually a cyborg with the face that looks like RoboCop without the helmet. And again, we have here he's got 4 lightsabers. Later on, he only has 2. But I don't even know why we even brought up the Grievous thing. None of it really makes any sense. And so there's Valance, held up against the wall, and the guy is going, reprogramming him. And we have a shapeshifter. This was kind of a neat part. So we have Forlom and Zuckuss, and they're getting chased by a bunch of droids. And he tells Forlom to go ahead without him, and he'll try to hold them back. So he's basically sacrificing himself for Forlom. And then it's really funny that he tells him, no, go through the door. I'll hold him off. And as soon as he goes through the door, the droids all stop anyway because he's like, yeah, we're not interested in you, Organic. We were just interested in him, so you made the right choice. I thought that was pretty interesting. But anyway, so we finally get Valance comes out after being reprogrammed, and they don't realize that he is reprogrammed at this point. They just realize that he's in a weird state. So the shapeshifter shapes into his former wife and tells him, hey, calm down, bro, blah, blah, blah. It's okay. Everything's all right. And Valance, instead of being calmed down, decides that he's going to blow the guy's head off. So, he's being controlled by the other guy. So we'll see where this goes. But yeah, the whole Dark Droids thing needs to just end. It just needs to end. So, they've screwed up Star Wars so much that will this make a good film or television show? Not as long as Disney has control of this. They just keep making one bad decision after another. They can't even do Mandalorian right anymore. Season 3 was horrible. So getting a whole band of bounty hunters together and having Boba Fett in it and stuff like that is a really good idea. Bosk and Valance and Tonga, they have, I think they should stop. They have some of them that look too much like armor, like medieval armor. But having 2 or 3 guys in Zuckuss and Forlom, that would be fun. That would be a fun thing, kind of like what they did with Mandalorian and the IG-17 It's not 88. It's not IG-88. It's something else. But well, that their dynamic was kind of cool, and I think that could carry on to a story like this. But as long as they chose a good story, where Boba Fett might be involved, and they might be at odds with him, and he still kicks their ass. So I think that would be fun. But again, Disney, Star Wars can't do it. They can't think of anything original. Filoni's already dropped off the deep end. So, ugh. All right, so we're moving on to our independents now. We got Red Sonja by Dynamite, and I absolutely love this cover. I think that the art on this cover is just fantastic. And this is being written. This is number 3. So this is written by Torrin Groenbeck, and this is continuing that storyline of that priest guy or whatever else that mentally controls people. But here we find out there's another demon or angel or something that can control people, and we know nothing about this person. And the only reason I even know about this is so we have the other guy. He has these minions that are all warriors, and they're just raiding this village and killing everyone. And Sonja's there, and Sonja fights. They're trying to pick her up. They're trying to capture her. They want her alive. So they're fighting, and she's getting overwhelmed. We have some really good fight scenes here, but she's getting overwhelmed by them. And then the village gets mind controlled by this angel or whatever is going on here, and to give her a way out, the villagers douse themselves with oil and ignite themselves. So she's like, no, stop it, you're killing all these innocent people. And she's like, well, you better run, because the only reason I'm doing it is I'm giving you a chance to get out. And so all these people on fire are diving at these other warriors, and Sonja, to save them and not fight any further, gets on her horse and absconds. Meanwhile, the other guy, the villain, he's got a whole army of people marching. So Sonja's like, man, I don't know what to do about all this. So she goes to the nearest the kingdom where they're marching the troops, and she's trying to warn them, and the local religious people are giving her a hard time, and she ends up hooking up with these twin little 16-year-old boys that have now been volunteered / drafted to fight. And again, that thing takes over and speaks to them, and she's like, please don't hurt them, they're just children. And she's like, they're like, don't worry. But she meets with this council of witches or whatever, so they can try to figure out what to do. And the thing tells her, look, the black diamond needs to go back where it was. Why don't you give it to us? We'll put it back. And she's like, I'm not giving you anything. And she obviously doesn't trust them, but she says, until the diamond's going back where it was, all hell's going to break loose. And so this guy's whole army is leaning towards that thing, and they put villagers or whatever into the catapults, and then they start catapulting live people at the castle or at the kingdom. And that's where it ends for now. So a lot of stuff going on. I can't say nothing happened in that issue. A lot of stuff happened in that issue. So yeah, I mean, I like what because there was some really good stuff that was written in prior Red Sonja stuff, and that I really liked. The artwork wasn't as good as the one in here. This storyline is not as good as some of the other stuff that we've gotten from Red Sonja in the past, especially with the Child King one. I thought that was really good. And if you haven't read that stuff, I don't know the name of it. but it was written pretty well. And now we have this one where we have, mental things going on. We got magic going on. And this one's really good too. But again, after all these years, we still don't have a Red Sonja movie. We had one back in the day. I forgot her name. Sylvester Stallone's ex-wife that played that. And it was, it was campy as hell. And I didn't really call that Red Sonja. But I heard that there's something that they're brewing on now, but the person that allegedly they picked doesn't look like Red Sonja either. So I don't know. I guess they can't get Red Sonja right in movies, but I guess we'll find out. But I haven't heard any production going on. Haven't heard any pre-production even going on. Know that they can't shoot right now, but if they had cast somebody, you would think that they had a script, so they really could do pre-production. But I've heard nothing about any of it, so I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But it would be nice to get a Red Sonja series or movie series. All right, so let's move on to Conan. This is the last one that I have. So Conan, this is Titan took over from Marvel, and it really looks old school. I mean, they really went old school. Conan looks great in here. The artwork is phenomenal. There is a lot of text in this issue, a lot of text. But we find out that when it's kind of like Walking Dead, that when the warriors or whatever else are killed in battle, they rise up and they're almost like White Walkers. So they enter this. So it's the Picts who Brisa's, it's her people, and then of course we have the Barbarians, which are Conan's people. So the Picts are like completely taken over by this thing, and the Barbarians are kind of half. Are still warring little things going on, but they go into this dark tower, and they find a lot of Conan's people encased in that jail. So there's these undead things come out with these priests, and they kill them all, and they find the key, and they get them out, and they said, okay, we're going to get out of here. But then, and it's one big fight scene, and they find this, sacrifice taking place, this ritual, and Thulsa Doom is there, and they try to be stealthy, and they're sacrificing a dude, and they throw him into this green liquid water that's going on, and from there they lose their stealth, so they have to fight, and we get this really nice splash page of battle going on, and Conan takes on Thulsa Doom to kill him, but it doesn't go that well because whoops, on this one. He ends up falling off the cliff with Thulsa Doom. And he's now in that green water that the other dude was sacrificed in. So this issue was just one big fight scene for the most part, because they're very, very small story beats here. But a lot of text, but not a lot happens. So you have them going to the Dark Tower. They have, releasing, the other barbarians. They fight the sacrifice, and he falls in the water. That's about everything that happens in this issue. So yeah, that's it. That's the last I got. So let's talk about Conan. So Conan, yeah, I would love to see another Conan movie. And this is pretty decent. I got no problem with the storyline. Waiting to see where it goes, see how epic it actually becomes. But yeah, I don't know who would play Conan. Momoa really didn't do a great job. There really hasn't been a good Conan since Schwarzenegger. So, and of course that one's classic. Red Sonja, there's a whole bunch of Red Sonja stories that they could be made into a film and television show. They just never done it, and I don't understand why. And would they change her costume if they did so? I don't know, but you definitely have a bunch of guys watching it, depending on who they cast. Bounty Hunters would be a great idea to do, but Disney, Star Wars can't pull it. But this would be a great idea to actually do for film and television show. Nightwing with the return of Heartless. No, there's nothing going on. Nothing going on with Tom Taylor. And Power Girl #1. This is not actually Power Girl, so for sure not. This is a pass beyond belief. All right, that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all of your patronage to the channel and helping me grow. Give me a thumbs up, give me a subscribe, give me a middle finger, whichever way you want to go with it. If you find me boring, that's fine too. I got no problem with that. And let me jump into my own stuff, which is not boring. So I have, of all the stuff I've written, nobody's ever called my stuff boring. So Tales of Ravenor the Iron Witch, my new fantasy novel with some great cultures that are all connected in this one kingdom called Ravenor. And it's a whole new magic system, and of course the impending invasion by the Iron Witch. And then my sci-fi series, Destiny Aurora, which is a 4-novel series. This is an adaptation of the 4th novel. We have plenty of aliens and space battle and all this stuff going on. Plenty of action and a big twist if you see it coming. Lords of LA, my vampire mob in the 50s. I will be launching issue 2. I am going to start working on that this week because I finished up a classic monster card game that we're going to be playtesting next month, and hopefully I'll be launching that as well. So I've been working on that all week. So this I'm gonna hunker down and start working on my Kickstarter so we can launch it. All right. So check out issue 2 once that launches, and issue 1 and everything else is available on DestinyAurora.net. And the novels are also on Amazon. All right. Again, thank you so much for watching, guys. Check out my other videos before you head out as well. I do movie reviews and, of course, comic reviews. And I'm going to start doing more playthroughs in board games as well. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Have a great day.